Meet the top 9 QBs in the 2025 NFL Draft. Number 9. Quinn Ewers, Texas. Ewers did not impress me whatsoever on his tape. Ewers was overall a very inconsistent prospect who would throw a beautiful deep ball one play and then underthrow his guy by 10 yards the next. And I don't think NFL coaches will take a shot on someone that inconsistent early in the draft, which is why I have a 5th-round grade on Ewers. He's got some talent, just has to put it together, and then maybe possibly he can be a decent NFL player, but I don't see him ever being anything special. Number 8. Dillon Gabriel, Oregon. Gabriel is a player I am excited to see in the NFL. He's an older player with tons of experience, and I think it shows on tape. He reads the field well, and I think could run an NFL offense pretty well too. Even at times, he can extend plays with his legs and work out of the system. However, Gabriel's size and lack of overall arm talent is what will drop him in the draft. I think he will go sometime in the 4th and maybe be a bridge starter one day in the NFL. Number 7. Will Howard, Ohio State. Howard is another player with experience who can just run an offense and sometimes make plays outside of it. Howard is very slightly above Gabriel because I think he's overall slightly more balanced and is able to hit all 3 zones of the field, short, medium, and deep. I think he will go sometime in the late 3rd or 4th round with potential to one day be a solid bridge QB. Number 6. Tyler Shough, Louisville. Shough is a way older player in this draft who has recently got a lot of buzz. I like Shough, but am not as high on him as some people. I think he's easily got one of the highest floors in this draft and can maybe even start day one on the right team, like for example the Saints. I think Shough can one day be a solid Derek Carr-like starter in the league, where he can get stuff done with some pieces and can run an offense efficiently, but can't quite get over the hump to being a great QB. Number 5. Jalen Milroe, Alabama. Milroe is the definition of a raw prospect. He's a guy who is probably the most athletic QB prospect we have seen since Lamar Jackson at Louisville. And I think Milroe is on Lamar's level as a runner prospect. However, Milroe might be one of the worst throwers of the football in the entire class. But most of his missed throws are in the short to intermediate parts of the field, as he's a pretty good deep passer. Overall, most of his misses come from mechanical issues that I think the right NFL coach can fix up. Milroe is going to be a straight-up lottery ticket in this draft, as he's either going to be a guy we hardly ever hear of again or a guy who we can't stop talking about. Number 4. Kyle McCord, Syracuse. McCord, in my opinion, is the most underrated QB in this draft. He's a game manager, but a top-tier game manager. Someone who you bring in, and he just runs your offense to perfection. I think him at Ohio State painted the wrong picture, because when he went to a system that better fit him, he absolutely balled out, and aside from one game, he was one of the best throwers of the football last season. I think McCord could be like a Jared Goff in the NFL, because he's one of those really good game managers who will just make the plays you need to make and won't ever go above and beyond risking making a stupid play. He's a great processor and a great rotational thrower who can hit all areas of the field. Number 3. Jackson Dart, Ole Miss. Dart is another raw prospect who has insane potential. His raw arm talent is already very good, and I don't think he will need as much developing as some other prospects in this draft. He's a guy who can sit for a year or two behind a veteran and then take over the reins and has the potential to be a stud at the position. The one big thing that Dart needs to fix is his mechanics, as most of his missed passes came from bad mechanics like releasing the ball too late or misreads in terms of waiting too long to throw the ball. Overall, I think the Rams would be a perfect landing spot for him, as he could sit for 1 to 2 years behind Stafford, a Hall of Fame QB, and then get coached by one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. Number 2. Shedeur Sanders, Colorado. Sanders is a very overrated player in my opinion, as I don't think he is the big play player everyone thinks he is, and I definitely don't think he should be going top 3 or even top 10. I think Shedeur is another very solid player who can run an offense very well if he has guys around him. almost like a Dak Prescott, a guy who's top 10 to 15 around the league, but can't be top tier on his own because he needs to have guys that can take his throws and turn them into big-time plays. Another thing that I think is that Shedeur creates a lot of pressure for himself and honestly creates sacks, making his O-line's job even harder. He's always trying to be a superhero when in reality he needs to stand tall in the pocket and deliver good throws. I think Shedeur is more of a mid-first round pick and a guy who on the right team can be very dangerous. He isn't a guy who can elevate the team. He needs the team to elevate him. Number 1. Cam Ward, Miami. We talked about how Sanders might be overrated now. Let's talk about how Cam Ward might be too underrated, because when I first turned on his tape, I expected absolutely nothing like this. He's a guy who literally is the definition of calm under pressure. He navigates the pocket like he's making all the right turns in a maze, and most importantly, he can hit all levels of the field with great accuracy. Not to mention, he also reads the field very well too. The one con I guess you could say about his game is his speed, but I think even that is a bit underrated, and he's a guy who can actually run the ball pretty well when you need him to. Overall, I think there's no shot the Titans should pass on this guy, as he might be a generational QB, and even though we have been saying he's the number 1 pick, I still don't think we're giving Ward enough credit. Thanks so much for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe button down below. See you next time.